What's up, Milkshake Mafia? It's your favorite predator catcher's favorite predator catcher, Minnow, reporting to you semi-live here on the good old Minority vs. Predator channel here on the good old 2BU. And let me just take some time to address the whole thing with my friend Mike being here that I mentioned a couple videos over the past year or so. So people wanted to meet Mike. He's very shy, very camera shy, he's very quiet. He actually doesn't speak much at all, but I managed to convince him to come on camera just a little bit for you. Yep. Milkshake Mafia, Mike, Milkshake Mafia. And moving right along, today's conversation is a bit unique. I initially started talking to this particular individual in February of 2020, and this was at a point in time where I ran my channel a bit differently. What I used to do was personally try and find their family members or spouse and then send them all the chat logs just so they can know the situation before it hits them too hard. And also what I did was I revealed myself to him at the end of our conversation after I sent all the chats to his wife on Facebook, but she never saw the messages, she never read them. But the person I was talking to, he says that he will never do it again. Now let's fast forward to today. I forwarded his stuff to the fucking FBI themselves, and I never got anything back in return in terms of any dialogue after I met with them, by the way. So once I forwarded that stuff to them, I left it alone until he messaged me again fairly recently. So let's go ahead and start from the beginning and let's move right along. This individual's name is Jeff. He is in the Wilmington, Delaware area at the time of his initial contact with me. So Jeffrey says, "Hi, beautiful." Emoji. Keep track of the emojis because that'll be very imperative in terms to how this particular person talks a little bit later. So anyway, I would love to be your friend and talk to you about anything. That's when I said, hey, that sounds good to me. Just so you know, I'm actually 14. If that's not cool with you, I'll leave you alone. He says, Alexi, that's fine with me. When's your birthday? I would never have guessed you're 14. The beautiful picture you posted on here makes you look at least 18 or 19. I said, thanks, I get that a lot, which is why I want to be honest with you. I just turned 14 this past December. That's when he asked my decoy when her birthday was. Then he says my birthday was just the 1st of February. May I see another picture of you? And believe me, Alexi, I do not mean a naked picture. I said, okay, happy belated birthday. Then I sent him a couple selfies. Jeff says, thank you for the birthday wishes, Alexi, and wow, you're a beautiful young woman. You definitely look 18, 19, or 20 years old easily, which, spoiler alert, I mean, yeah, the pictures of my decoy that I use, she is a grown-ass woman in these photos, but you know, I just gotta pick and choose which one I use, man. You know, you gotta finesse a little bit down. And he says, did you take that picture just for me? I said, no, I took it last week. I'm still in school, lols. And my teachers say the same thing all the time. It's the makeup, I think. Then he says, what time are you done with school? And where are you, by the way? And I bet you will be just as beautiful without makeup. Hearts. I said, 2 o'clock. I'm in Manchester, New Jersey. Go Hawks. Go Hawks. So you're almost done for the day. I don't believe you're too far from me. I live just outside of Philly, near the airport. Will anyone be home when you get home from school? I said, I don't remember. My mom is working tonight or not. So either way, she'll be home or I'll be alone. Why? He says, I'm just curious. I hope I didn't sound creepy asking that question, lols, which, yeah, it was just a little creepy, but it's okay. It's okay. You're amongst peers here. We're not here to judge you. Too bad. Okay. I said, no, it's cool. I trust you. That's when Jeff says, that's awesome, and please let me know if I'm ever making you uncomfortable. I will not be mad or angry or nothing. Sounds to me like you're going through plenty after reading your profile. That's when I said, okay, I'll make sure to do that, Jeff. I'm happy that I can possibly call you my friend. I can call you my friend, right? He says, absolutely, Alexi. Please call me your friend. Smiley face, heart. So in regards to him mentioning what he read on my profile, this was a point in time where I was experimenting a lot with different personality traits with my decoys. I just wanted to see how these guys would groom a child based on certain personality traits and habits of my decoy. I asked him, would you like to text me? It's easier for me, but you don't have to be if you're not comfortable with me being 14 and all. He says, we can text if you'd like. This would be a little bit more private, wouldn't it? We wouldn't want your parents to find out that you're talking to me. Then fast forward a little bit, he says, I just don't want angry parents hitting me up about talking to the 14-year-old daughter, LOL. Well, let's just be grateful that in this particular situation, technically there is no 14-year-old parents that you have to worry about. But then again, we don't know if he's been talking to real minors out there, but only time will tell. Then I said, you seem to be uneasy about texting, so I won't make you text me at all. It's all good. Just we can text if you want. So then we move right on over to the text messages. He texts me, Alexi? Yes, it is. He says, nice, lipstick emoji. Do you have a lot of homework? Then I sent him a picture of what my decoy wore in school. He says, wow, Art, you must drive the boys crazy, looking so pretty. I like talking to you, smiley face. I said, haha, thanks, but I don't drive anyone crazy, at least not that I know of. Send one back, and he sent me a selfie right back. I said, very nice smile. He says, hope you like it. I said, I do, and I asked him how old he is. He eventually tells me that he just turned 51. And he also says, I probably look every bit of 60. And I said, well, you didn't look 28 because on his Scout profile at that time, his age was listed as 28 years old. Then he says, I meant to tell you my age was wrong. I'm sorry. I said, you're good. I asked you your age because you didn't look 28, so I caught on early. He says, I forget that my age is even on there sometimes. I don't talk to a lot of people. I hope it won't keep you from talking to me or sharing pictures. I said, like I said, it's all good. I mean, even I lied about my age to sign up, yeah. Then he has the audacity to say, hey, age is just a number to me, LOL. I feel like that saying is in like every pedophile for dummies handbook out there. That is like their quintessential go-to quote. I simply don't understand. He says, I don't feel 51. I can work circles around the boys half my age. I'm still in great shape, Alexi, LOL. And then as we skip along, a few screenshots, I'm telling him that, you know, my decoy's home from school, she's doing homework, and he's just like, oh, let me know if I'm bothering you. You know, you should be left in peace to do your studies, but you got Jeff blowing your phone up and all that stuff. So then we're gonna fast forward a couple days because I forgot to text him back. We start to talk a little bit, you know, hey baby doll, kissy face, what you doing? Told him I was about to shower, he says, same here, just got home from work. I asked him where he worked, he says, I run a construction company. And then that's when I asked him what his company was called. I want to start my own company someday, but he just completely ignores that. And he says it's a lot of work in regards to starting up your own company. Then we move along to February 25th. He asked what I was doing. I said in bed. He says, I'd love to see that, LOL. I'm getting in the shower, then going to bed. I just said good night. And then he responds, just out of curiosity, can I see what you wear to bed? I didn't respond to him for the rest of the night, but then the next morning I said, sorry, I fell asleep, and that he is on his way to work already. I said, yeah, I gotta get ready for school in a bit. Don't feel like getting out of bed. He says, I don't blame you. I don't want to get out of bed either. Then I said, yeah, I might just take a sick day. He says, where you at again? I said, Jersey. And he asked, want me to take a sick day also? How far are you from Philly? I said, a little bit over an hour. Why? He says, I could take a sick day today if you want. I said, like a little over an hour. Why? That's when Jeff says, I can take a sick day today if you want me to, ... I can come pick you up and we can spend the day together if you want. Kissy emoji and lip emoji. I says, what do you want to do today? He says, I won't be mad if you say no, just thought it would be cool to spend some time with you. And I said, that's why I'm asking, what do you want to do today? He says, we could do whatever you want to, Alexi. What do you want to do? And I asked him, even sex? Under normal circumstances today, I would never lead off with that. When we were talking, I was only doing this for about 4 or 5 months at the time, so my approach and how I talk to these guys has evolved a lot over this time. But then again, he shouldn't have even continued to talk to me. That's here nor there. He says, if that's what you want to do, we can make the whole day about you. Kissy face. This is where I purposefully just blew my cover and I said, okay, well, you would like to ask, insert wife's name, if you can come here to have sex with a 14-year-old. He said, who the fuck is this? Am I being set up or something? So then I'm like, I don't call this a setup, Mr. Deigel. I think that's how we pronounce his last name. School ends at 2 p.m. I strongly suggest you tell her before I do then, okay? It'll be an easier pill to swallow than hearing it from me. He says, I'm already sitting at work. I wasn't calling in sick. I said, that's fine. I didn't want you driving all the way, but online enticement of a minor is still a crime. He says, I would never do anything like that with a minor. Never have, never will. Then I said, on the other hand, it's fair that your significant other should know what you're doing behind her back. It's the right thing to do. So I'll just take care of it for you. Have a good day at work. Then he says, I was never driving to meet anyone. I said, it's okay. You don't have to meet for things to be illegal. Look, I'm not here to argue that, but insert wife's name, we'll find out. I'm showing her all the chats and I'll let her do with it what she may. Take care. He says, it's the first time I've ever done something like this and you can believe the last. Well, that turned out to be a lie. I sent it all over to his wife. She never saw the messages till this day. I forwarded everything to, you know, my connects with enforcement that I've had over the past year and a half. I was like, okay, even if they don't get back to me, I'm just gonna let it be. If they decide to open up an investigation, so be it. So then we fast forward a year and 2 months later, April 2021, and he actually messaged me on the Meet Me app, which is the sister application to Scout, which is what I used the first time around to talk to him. But on this particular profile, he goes by the name of Justin from Norwood, PA. And then Justin, or Jeff, which is his real name because I found his Facebook already. Lexi, you post some pretty pictures. More emojis. May I ask what you're looking for? I said, just a good time. He says, I would love to have a good time with you, Lexi. Heart, lip emoji. I said, I hope you don't mind that I'm almost 15 though. He says, wow, really? When's your birthday? Where you from? Told him it's in a few months. I'm in Lakers. He says, okay, cool. To be honest, I thought you were like 19. I wish you were at least 18. And then that's when I said, I mean, I can leave you alone if you're not okay with it. And then he says, don't leave me alone. Smiley face. Kiss emoji. Then he asked, can you take a selfie for me, baby doll? Sent him a selfie. Asked him to send one back just so I can make sure that this Justin and Jeffrey are the same people, because, you know, a lot of the times these guys tend to look alike after a while. But no, it's definitely him because I was fixated on the little bump that he had on his face. So we had that on top of the same texting patterns with the overuse of emojis. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is definitely Jeff. Then I asked him, so I take it you single? He says, yes, he is. So then we're gonna go to May 5th. He's like, hey, you know, this app is glitchy for me too. We wanna exchange social medias. So then obviously I don't have an Instagram for my decoy, but what I do is I always say, hey, yeah, no, I got in trouble. My dad made me delete it, but I could see about signing up again. What's your Instagram? Just so I can get it out of them first. And then he tells me that his Instagram, which I know is a burner account, obviously, because it's just_in9948. And at the end of the video, we're gonna go ahead and visit the Instagram and all that stuff. He says he's gonna put up his pool today, what my decoy was doing then. I said, in bed still. He says, I would love to see that smiley face heart. You don't mind me being 14 though? He says, if you're okay, I'm good. And then I sent him a picture of my decoy laying in bed. You are very pretty. What kind of picture would you like me to send to you? And I said, whatever you want to send. Then he sends me a picture of him laying in bed with the nipple front and goddamn center. Ladies and gentlemen, this here is a nipple of a liar, a cheater, a despicable human being. What have I become? So in this moment, this is where I started to troll just a little bit, and I dropped his real name. I said, you look great, Jeff. Wow, autocorrect. I meant you have a great chest. He says, thank you. I bet you have a great chest, Lexi Hart. You there? When are you gonna go shopping with your cousin? That's when I said, I'm getting ready now. He says, can you send me a bra and panties picture, beautiful? Which goes completely unanswered. He says, I hope I did not offend you or scare you away. I said, no, you're good. I'm just busy. And he says, glad I did not offend you or scare you away. You're good. We go to May 22nd. I asked him, what do you do for work? He says, I run a construction company, which is the same exact answer that he gave me way back when we first started talking. Then I said, oh, nice. I'm surprised you aren't married or anything. Have a stay-at-home wife named like Stacy, Mary, or insert wife's real name to make you dinner after long days of work. He says, nope, not at all. What a shame. So then let's go to May 24th. He says he just got done putting up his pool. I would love to see you in a bathing suit, especially in a bikini heart. Sent him another photo of my decoy. Wow, baby doll, do you have a full-length picture? I said, no, I don't. Can you take one for me? And it was at this moment where like his profile just like dropped out of like existence for whatever reason. So here is the most disturbing part out of all this. So when I went to his Instagram, which once again is just_in9948. He's got one post that he put up January 25th. And then I decided to look at who he's following. And this is where things got a little disturbing for me, because as I went down his follower list, it's 99.9% females, and a decent handful of them look to be incredibly young, which obviously I'm not going to put up on, you know, the video here. You guys can go ahead and see his follower list for yourself when you go to the Instagram. That's when I thought, like, you know what, he probably has a history of doing stuff like this. Don't know if he's actually, you know, abused an actual minor at some point in time, but he clearly shows some kind of pattern of wanting to go after significantly younger females. So then we go over to his Facebook profile, which has been relatively active on his about details. He works at Breslin Contracting Inc. So I don't know if he runs the company, but he definitely does some kind of construction work. And that he lives in the Norwood, Pennsylvania area, but he's from Newcastle, Delaware. So I guess that's kind of the reason why when we initially started talking, his scout said that he was in the Wilmington, Delaware area at the time. He could have been traveling. I don't know. It is what it is, but here we go. So this is one of the situations where I let nature take its course here. I tried to do the right thing and it just didn't work out. The part that just drives me nuts about this is that I let it known that he got caught by me. Back then, I was just hoping that would have been enough to deter him from doing anything like this again. But it just goes to show that these guys are truly fucking stupid. That's just the reality of the situation. With that being said, you play stupid games and you win stupid prizes. Surprise, Jeffrey. This is your reality now. And it's very sad that you went out and did something like this again, and God knows how many of these young girls you probably even DM'd on Instagram that you follow. These actions are absolutely despicable and one of the more unsettling situations that I've had to deal with dealing with some of these people. What do you mean these people? Shut the fuck up. So with that being said, man, just stop it. Get some help. Let's just have a big old intervention for good old Jeffrey Dick on Milkshake Mafia. Before I go ahead and end the video, Milkshake Mafia, please remember to not send any death threats or harassment to this individual, especially not to this individual's friends or family, because they cannot control the actions of this man here. So with that being said, please make sure to leave a like on the video. The more likes it gets, the higher up in the algorithm I go on YouTube, and the more awareness I get to spread about this horrible world that we truly live in. Please make sure to also subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all of my social media links, which are in the description box below, and make sure to purchase the outro song, which is called The Book of Abel by the Uncrowned Kings, on Spotify, Apple Music, and all other streaming platforms. So Mafia, it has been real. Make sure you have a nice day, enjoy the beautiful weather, and please don't entice minors over the internet, because you're gonna have a bad time. I'll see you all very, very soon. I promise.
I can feel my pain again. Wish this would just stay away.